Hello, this is Will from juniorwallstreet.blogspot.com. I'm here to do a trade review of a Netflix day trade I was in today. So, I mentioned this in one of my trade ideas blog posts that I was looking for Netflix below this pivot area here. But in the meanwhile, I will have a short bias day trades. So let's just go straight to the intraday. It's a fairly simple trade that I was in. So I noticed that Netflix went up initially and then pulled back right into its where it opened. And I was kind of watching this level yesterday, where it kind of the lows yesterday, and I was seeing how this stock would react to it today. So, because based off that information, I noticed that it's really hard. It's really hard to tell because it's not quite a bear flag, but I read this as a bear flag. So I established a short position within this area with a stop above 215.20, which is kind of the high of this consolidation range yesterday afternoon. And it started to work initially, and of course it pulls back. So at this point, I was either going to get stopped out, or I was going to have an opportunity to get more size, because as we know, stocks will pull back to the EMAs and it will either continue to go up, trade sideways, or shoot back down. So in this case, it tested and it was unable to take out the highs, and eventually it went down, and this was my signal to enter as soon as it broke below 214.20. So I got in some more, and my whole plan at this time was to cover into the lows around 210.40 to 10.44. So I took the short and let it go, and at this point I was tempted to short a little more here because EMAs are still holding, and that's sort of the whole basis of this trade, is to have the EMA still holding. But I couldn't pull the trigger. Then it went on and on and on, and at this point I had to go to work. And as soon as I got in the office, I believe it was around here, right at 10 a.m. or close to 10 a.m. here. 10 a.m. Well, 10 a.m. my time. I had a meeting that I had to go to. I forgot all about it, and I really wanted to cover down here, but I couldn't leave my open order because I'll still have a stop even though my order would be covered, and I don't know, it was just going to be a mess because I wouldn't be in front of my screen. So I just decided to cover 2/3 at 211.20 just to get out of it, and I didn't have time to readjust my stop for the other position, so my stop remained above here. And by the time I got done with my let's see here, it did eventually hit my target, and I would have made another, I don't know, almost a point from the shares that it is sell, but eventually it did reverse, and because I didn't get out of my meeting until an hour and a half later, which is at this point, needless to say, I was stopped out on this candle. So that definitely put me on tilt. I mean, I knew things like that it's gonna happen when because I have a full-time job, and I'm taking these trades before I get into work, and sometimes I have to manage it during, so it makes things a little difficult. But at this point, I mean, I saw this as a pullback back to this area, and I was gonna short this with a massive amount of size. But I knew that that was going to be just a revenge trade, a tilt trade. I mean, the characteristics of why I like the stock is no longer true. Had I been actually watching the stock, I mean, um, maybe I would have gotten out somewhere there. I mean, I would have hit more out at my target, uh, gotten some out there, or something else. But it's hard to say because I wasn't watching. But this is when I really wanted to go like crazy amount of shares. Good thing I didn't too, because it just traded higher and kind of slopped the rest of the way. So I was very glad that I stopped myself because I knew what was coming. I mean, I had my blood flowing and I was going to revenge trade this. But at least I've learned enough about myself and about my trading that I can walk away before any of that happens. So that was pretty much it. I gave back a ton of gains, as you can probably imagine, but it's okay. I mean, it's part of trading, and I got to get over it. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys soon.